Hang on. I'll get it together in a minute. And no, I'm not sorry. I've quit saying that. My name is Pam Flo, and I'm married to Daryl. We've been married 45 years. We've been at RCC, Kim says, 8 years. I don't really know how long we've been there, but we miss our church family. All right. Daryl and I have been in an interesting journey over the last 6 months. He was diagnosed with myelodysplastic syndrome, which is a blood cancer disorder, a blood bone marrow disorder. He's been treated for leukemia for the last 6 months. We spent the last 32 days in the hospital undergoing intensive chemo. We're now at home waiting to see what our next step is. The chemo did not work, and we're looking to see what the next step is. One of the things that I've learned about how God uses his body to encourage other people came really strongly from being in the hospital for 32 days. And the sweet things that people did to encourage us. You know, I think the first gift that we received that touched me in that way was from one of our RCC members, and she put a mason jar of flowers from her yard on my front porch. And it was so simple that the simplicity of it really touched me. It just felt like a heart connection. We've had a lot of others. We have had people who have put scripture on pretty cards for me to sit around the house. I had a friend who made me a little booklet with beautiful scenes from magazines or from, I don't know, the internet somewhere. And it was very simple. There were probably 6 or 8 pictures, but they were beautiful things for us to look at. And interestingly, one of the pictures in there was of a quiet stream, which is something God has been speaking to me about over the last 2 years. And in the middle of this, that quiet stream has become one of the safe places that I go. And it was just like, wow, there's God speaking to me all over again. And she just clipped a picture out of a magazine that she thought was pretty. But God used it to really love on me and to confirm that he was with me. One of the ones I think that just really spoke to me the most was a gift from Millie Taylor. If you don't know Millie Taylor, you don't know that she has the wonkiest sense of humor. And she always makes me laugh when I'm with her. And she is crazy about the funny papers. If you have gotten a birthday card from Millie, it has a funny paper, it has a comic strip in it. And they're always specific. If you're a cat lover, they're about cats. If you're an airplane pilot, somehow she finds one about an airplane. But they're always very specific and tailor-made for you, which is very precious. So one day when we were in the hospital, I thought, I need to laugh. Daryl and I are not laughers. We're just pretty somber. And so I thought I need to laugh. And so Millie came to mind. And I texted her and said, Millie, would you send me some comic strips? I want to put them on my door. So I got a big package of Millie's comic strips. And they made me laugh. But what I did is I put one a day on my door. And the first day, it was early in the morning, probably 6:30 in the morning, I heard belly laughs outside my door. And I went to the door, and there was an unknown doctor I'd never met and never seen since, who was just howling at the comic strip on the door. And he was gathering nurses and other techs and whatever to show them this comic, and they all just were laughing outside of our door. And we had people knock on our door and tell us thank you for the laughter, that they really needed it. It's a real somber place. It's a hard place to work, and it brought joy. So that particular day, we met our new doctor, and I heard people outside the door, and then I heard laughter, and then our new doctor came in the door, and he was just howling about this comic strip. And he immediately told us 2 really bad jokes that I said, those are not even funny. And it just started our relationship off with joy and a lightness that was really lovely in the midst of the kinds of things we discuss in that room with him. So day by day, I would put another one up and another one up. And before long, there was a big stack of, 10 or 15 of them on the door. And people would come in and they would just be laughing. And it just brought joy. And I thought, what would have happened if Millie would have said, my gift is too small? It's not going to matter. But what happened was, it started a relationship, a very important relationship with this doctor, in a lighthearted way. And now every time we see him, he has a joke for us, which is really sweet. And it just helps to buffer some of the rough edges of what we're going through. So I'm very grateful to Millie for doing her part and putting her, her gifts and talents and interest and wacky sense of humor on the line for us and giving from that to us. It was just a real personal and tender and wonderful gift. Wednesday, we talked to the doctor about the possibility of clinical trials that could be available to Daryl. And we know nothing about that. We don't know what that next thing brings. The traditional FDA approved route has not worked for him. So we're hopeful that there's another solution. But what we are trying to do, and some days we do it well and some days we don't, is to surrender ourselves to God and to trust Him. I think if He's trustworthy enough to bring comic strips to my door, to add a lighthearted nature to the people who come in and encouragement to the people who work on that floor, and it's very difficult, that He can be trusted with us. So that's where we are.